You are watching the world burn, and you think you are safe because you recycled your plastic, because you voted, because you shared the right post. Let me tell you something Machiavelli understood 500 years ago. The game was rigged before you were born. Not rigged against you, specifically. Just rigged. The collapse isn't coming. It is already here. You just haven't noticed because they built the cage to look like freedom. Machiavelli didn't write The Prince to help rulers. He wrote it to show you the machinery, to pull back the curtain on how power actually moves, not how we want it to move. How it does, and what he saw in the dying Italian republics is what we're watching now, the same patterns, the same lies, the same inevitable slide into chaos. But here is where it gets interesting. He also knew how to survive it. You think the system is broken. That is your first mistake. The system is functioning exactly as designed. It is just not designed for you. Every institution you were taught to trust is in freefall. Media, government, education, medicine, banking, all of it. But they can't let you see it collapse all at once. So they manage the decline. They give you just enough stability to keep you hoping. Just enough chaos to keep you afraid. This is called controlled demolition. Machiavelli watched the Medici family do this to Florence. They didn't destroy the Republic overnight. They hollowed it out from the inside, kept the institutions, the rituals, the elections, but stripped away everything that made them real. You still had a vote. It just didn't matter anymore. Sound familiar? Here is the truth you don't want to hear. The collapse doesn't look like explosions and riots. It looks like this. Normal days, bills to pay, Netflix to watch. While the foundations crumble in slow motion, let me show you the cage you are living in. You wake up. Check your phone. Algorithms decide what you see, what you think about, what you fear. You go to work, not because you love it, because if you don't, you lose everything. Your food comes from a system you don't understand. Your money exists as numbers on a screen. Your thoughts are shaped by people you've never met. And you call this freedom. Machiavelli would laugh. He knew that the most effective control doesn't feel like control. It feels like choice. The prince wasn't about oppressing people. It was about making them oppress themselves. Give them the illusion of agency. Let them think they're making decisions, while you control the options they choose from. This is what makes modern systems so brilliant. You are not in chains. You are in a cage made of comfort and convenience, and you defend it. You fight for it, because to see the cage means accepting you are trapped, and that is too painful. So you look away. Empires don't fall because they're conquered. They fall because they stop working. Rome didn't collapse when the barbarians arrived. It collapsed decades before that. They just didn't notice until the end. Machiavelli studied this pattern obsessively. He watched republics die the same way. Every time first, the institutions become corrupt, not dramatically slowly. People start bending rules, taking shortcuts. For good reasons, they tell themselves, to get things done. To help people, then the corruption becomes normal, expected, then it becomes required. If you are not playing the game, you are a fool. The honest ones get pushed out. The skilled ones get replaced by the loyal ones. Quality stops mattering. Only connections matter. Sound familiar? This is stage 1. Stage 2 is when reality stops matching the narrative. The maps no longer describe the territory. Officials recite numbers everyone knows are fake. Success is measured by metrics that don't measure success. People stop believing anything, not because they're cynical, because they're paying attention. Stage 3 is fracture. The center cannot hold because there is nothing at the center. Just empty rituals and hollow words. Different groups retreat into different realities. No shared truth. No shared values. Just tribes defending their territory. You are here now. Stage 4 is collapse. You want to believe you can fix this. Vote better. Protest louder. Share more information. That is why you are already lost. The system isn't broken. It is evolved. Machiavelli understood something most people refuse to accept. Systems don't exist to serve you. They exist to perpetuate themselves. Every system, every institution, its primary function is its own survival. Your needs are secondary. Always. Let me prove it. Look at how institutions respond to crisis. Do they fix the problem? Number, they protect themselves first. They control the narrative. Redirect blame. Create committees. Anything except actually change. Because change threatens survival. The people running these systems aren't evil. That is the comfortable lie. They're just optimizing for the wrong thing. They're optimizing for system preservation, not human well-being, not truth, not justice, survival. And a system optimized for survival becomes a parasite. It takes more than it gives. It demands more than it delivers. Until it collapses under its own weight. You can't vote your way out of this. The ballot box is part of the system. You can't protest your way out. Protests are pressure valves. They release tension without changing structure. You can't educate your way out. The education system is controlled by the same forces. This is the trap. Every tool you reach for to fight the system was built by the system. Machiavelli knew this. That is why he didn't tell you to fight. He told you to understand, and then to leave. Now we get to the part that matters. How do you survive a collapsing empire? Machiavelli never said fight the system. He said understand it. Use it, then extract yourself. This is the pre-collapse exit strategy. Step 1, accept the game is rigged. Stop waiting for fairness. Stop expecting institutions to save you. Stop believing the narrative. This isn't cynicism. It is clarity. You can't win a game if you don't know you are playing. Step 2. Build parallel systems. Don't fight the broken institution. Build something that works alongside it. When the Roman Empire collapsed, what survived? The Catholic Church. Why? Because it built its own infrastructure, its own networks, its own economy. When the official systems failed, the church kept functioning. This is your model. Build skills the system can't control. Build relationships based on value, not credentials. Build resources that don't depend on institutional stability. Machiavelli worked for the Florentine Republic, but he also maintained private correspondence with dozens of powerful people. When Florence fell, he didn't fall with it, because he'd built his own network. Step 3, become ungovernable, not by breaking laws, by making yourself less dependent on the system. Grow your own food, even a little. Learn to fix things, build real skills, not just credentials. Every dependency is a chain. Cut the chains. This doesn't mean live in the woods. It means understand where your vulnerabilities are and reduce them. Step 4. Understand timing. Machiavelli obsessed over fortuna. Timing. Knowing when to move and when to wait. Most people move too late. They wait until the collapse is obvious. By then, it is too late. The smart ones see the pattern early, and they position themselves before the crisis, not during step 5. Maintain optionality. Never commit completely to one path. Keep multiple options open. Multiple income streams, multiple locations you could live, multiple communities you could join. Machiavelli called this verticity, the ability to adapt, to survive changing conditions. The people who get crushed by collapse are the specialists, the ones with one skill, one job, one identity. The survivors are generalists, people who can shift, adapt, rebuild. Here is something nobody wants to hear. Your current community won't survive this. Most of them are too invested in the system, too dependent on its stability. When it falls, they'll cling harder. They'll demand loyalty to the failing structure, and they'll see your exit as betrayal. Machiavelli watched this happen in Florence. Lifelong friends turned on each other, not because they were bad people, because collapse makes people desperate. And desperate people are dangerous. Your exit strategy requires building new relationships with people who see what you see, who understand the game, who aren't waiting to be saved. This doesn't mean abandon everyone. It means prioritize strategically. Build your lifeboat with people who know how to swim, not people who are drowning and grabbing for anything. This sounds cold. It is, but Machiavelli wasn't writing for saints. He was writing for survivors. Most people reading this won't act on it. They'll nod along, feel the truth of it, and then do nothing. You want to know why? Because accepting collapse means accepting responsibility. As long as you believe the system works, you can blame the system for your debt, your dead-end job, your mediocre life. It is not your fault, it is theirs. But once you see the system is finished, you can't hide behind that anymore. Your life becomes your responsibility, completely. And that is terrifying. So people choose comfortable lies over uncomfortable truth. They choose the cage. Machiavelli saw this constantly. He'd warn leaders about threats. Show them the evidence. Explain exactly what would happen. And they'd ignore him, not because the analysis was wrong, because accepting it required action they weren't willing to take. Then the threat would materialize exactly as predicted, and they'd act surprised. This is the pattern. Denial, crisis, surprise, blame, over and over. Don't be that person. Let me paint you a picture. It is not Mad Max. It is not zombies. It is slow degradation. Services that used to work stop working. Things take longer, cost more, work worse. Infrastructure fails, not all at once, piece by piece. Water pressure drops in certain neighborhoods. Power goes out more often. Bridges close. Food prices spike. Supply chains break. You wait months for simple repairs. Customer service becomes a joke. Nothing works quite right anymore, and everyone just accepts it. That is just how things are now. Meanwhile, the wealthy build walls, literal and figurative. Private schools, private security, private infrastructure. They're not preparing for collapse. They're already living post-collapse, with different rules, different access. The gap becomes a chasm, not because of a revolution, because the bridges between worlds slowly fall apart. And nobody maintains them. This is what Machiavelli saw in Italy. Not one big catastrophic event. Death by 1,000 cuts. Until one day you look around and realize nothing works anymore, and nobody's coming to fix it. Machiavelli understood something crucial about survival. Visibility is vulnerability. The people who survive collapse aren't the loudest. They're the quietest. They don't announce their preparations. They don't broadcast their strategies. They move in silence, because attention is dangerous in unstable times. If you are visibly prepared, you become a target. If you are visibly successful, you attract parasites. If you are visibly different, you attract enforcers. The key is to blend. Appear normal on the surface, while building your exit underneath. This is the Machiavellian path. Public conformity. Private preparation, smile, nod. Agree. Then do what you know needs doing. Don't try to convince others. Don't try to wake people up. The sleepers don't want to wake, and they'll hate you for trying. Build your ark quietly. Let others mock Noah. Let's talk about the chains you can't see. Debt, the most elegant control mechanism ever invented. Machiavelli would be impressed. You want to know why the system keeps functioning even as it fails? Because everyone is too indebted to walk away. Student loans, mortgages, car payments, credit cards, each one a chain. Together they form a cage. You can't quit your job. You have debt. You can't move. You have debt. You can't take risks, you have debt. You can't prepare, you have debt. This isn't accident, it is designed. A population in debt is a population in control. They'll tolerate anything to keep the payments coming. Bad bosses, meaningless work, declining standards. Because the alternative is default, and default means losing everything. Machiavelli wrote about this differently. He talked about how princes kept their people dependent, give them just enough to survive, never enough to leave. That is the modern debt system. Just enough credit to feel middle class, never enough savings to be free. Here is the uncomfortable part. Your exit strategy starts with getting out of debt, not later. Now, every dollar you owe is a vote for the current system. Every payment you make is choosing stability over freedom. I am not saying it is easy, I am saying it is necessary. Because when the system fails, your debt won't disappear. It will be the thing that drowns you. They told you education was the path to freedom. That is the biggest lie of all. Modern education doesn't free you. It indebts you. It credentials you. It makes you dependent on the system for validation. Machiavelli never went to university. He educated himself. Read the classics, studied history, observed power. And he understood more about human nature than any credentialed academic of his time. Why? Because his education served him, not the institution. Modern education serves the institution. It teaches you what to think, not how to think. It gives you credentials that only matter within the system. Remove the system and your degree is worthless. But skills are eternal. The ability to build, to fix, to grow, to create, these things have value in any system. Or no system at all. This is the shift you need to make. Stop collecting credentials. Start building capabilities. Stop asking, what degree do I need? Start asking, what can I actually do? Because when things fall apart, nobody cares where you went to school. They care if you can solve problems. Your money isn't real. I don't mean philosophically. I mean literally. It is numbers on a screen, backed by nothing except collective belief. And that belief is fracturing. Machiavelli lived through currency collapses. He watched kingdoms debase their coins, mix in cheaper metals, reduce the silver content, keep the face value the same. Called it economic necessity. It is the same thing now, just faster, more abstract. They print trillions, call it stimulus, quantitative easing, emergency measures. What they don't call it is what it is. Theft. Every new dollar printed dilutes the dollars you hold. Your savings lose value. Your labor is worth less, but the numbers stay the same. So you don't notice until you do, when bread costs twice what it did, when rent eats your entire paycheck, when you are working harder for less. This is the hidden tax, the one they never voted on, the one they'll never admit to, and there is no way to stop it, because stopping it would mean admitting the system is broke, and they can't do that, so they keep printing, keep inflating, keep pretending, until the currency collapses completely. Your move. Stop holding assets that can be inflated away. Land, skills, tools, relationships, commodities, things that have value regardless of what the paper says. This is the Machiavellian hedge. Don't trust the prince's currency. Build wealth the system can't devalue. Here is what most people miss about collapse. It doesn't unite people, it divides them. When resources become scarce, tribalism intensifies. People retreat into smaller and smaller circles of trust. Family, neighborhood, ethnicity, religion. Whatever marker separates us from them. Machiavelli documented this in Italy. As the republics failed, city-states turned on each other. Then districts within cities. Then families within districts. The circles got smaller. The violence got closer. This is human nature under stress. We don't come together, we fragment, and the people managing the decline know this. They use it, keep the tribes fighting each other. Left versus right, young versus old, this group versus that, while the real wealth extraction continues unnoticed. Because everyone's too busy fighting the culture war to notice the class war. This is sophisticated control. Give the people an enemy, just not the right enemy. Let them rage at each other. While you remain untouched, Machiavelli would call this brilliant evil, but brilliant. Your defense is awareness. See the division being manufactured. See who benefits from you hating your neighbor. See the puppet strings. Then refuse to dance, build bridges instead of walls. Find the other people who see through it. Those are your allies, not the tribe you were assigned. The tribe you choose, they sold you technology as liberation, information at your fingertips. Connection across the world, the democratization of knowledge. What they built was the perfect surveillance state. You carry the tracking device voluntarily. You feed it your data willingly. You pay for the privilege of being monitored. Machiavelli never imagined control this elegant. In his time, you needed guards, walls, physical force. Now, the cage is invisible. The guards are algorithms, and you defend it. I have nothing to hide. That is what everyone says, until the rules change, until your opinions become crimes, until your associations become evidence, until your search history becomes a weapon. The data doesn't disappear. It sits there, waiting for someone to decide you are a problem. This is the new form of power, not violence. Information asymmetry. They know everything about you. You know nothing about them. That is not a balanced relationship. That is dominance. Your move, reduce your digital footprint. Not completely. That is impossible now. But strategically, use cache when possible. Encrypt what matters. Separate your identities. Make yourself harder to profile, harder to predict, harder to control. This is modern virtue. The ability to move through the digital panopticon without being fully captured by it. Here is a test Machiavelli would recognize. Watch what happens when you question the narrative. Any narrative. Economic, political, medical, social, doesn't matter which one, just question it publicly. See what happens. You'll learn who your real friends are. Most won't engage with your question. They'll question your loyalty. Whose side are you on? Why are you being difficult? Don't you trust the experts? This is how systems maintain control. Not through argument, through social pressure. Make dissent costly. Make questions uncomfortable. Make independent thinking socially expensive. And most people will conform, not because they're convinced, because the price of doubt is too high. Machiavelli saw this in every court he visited. The emperor's new clothes weren't invisible. Everyone could see he was naked. But nobody wanted to be the one who said it, because saying it meant exile. Or worse, same game, different century. Your willingness to see what is obvious, to say what is true, to stand apart from the crowd. That is the real test, not intelligence, courage. And most people fail it, not because they're stupid, because they're afraid. Let me tell you what is about to become valuable, not what is valuable now. What will be valuable when things shift? Money, maybe, depends on the currency. Credentials, number those die with the institution's connections, only if they're real. What becomes valuable is capability, the ability to produce something people need. Food, shelter, security, repair, medicine. These are eternal needs. They don't go away when systems collapse. They become more important. Machiavelli survived his exile because he could write, he could analyze, he could advise. These skills had value independent of his position. When the position disappeared, the skills remained. That is the model. Build skills that create value directly, not skills that only matter within institutional frameworks. A doctor has value, a hospital administrator doesn't. A farmer has value, an agricultural policy expert doesn't. A mechanic has value, an automotive industry analyst doesn't see the pattern. One produces actual results, the other produces paperwork. When systems fail, paperwork becomes worthless. Results become everything. Position yourself, you lead. Accordingly, we're at the end now, and you have a decision to make. You can close this video. Go back to your routine. Pretend you didn't hear any of this. That is the easy choice, and nobody will blame you. Or you can accept what is happening. Really accept it. Not just intellectually, in your bones, and start making different choices, building different systems, becoming a different kind of person. Machiavelli spent years in exile, broken, forgotten, writing letters to people who didn't respond. But he kept writing, kept thinking, kept preparing, because he knew something. Collapse creates opportunity for those who are ready. When the old systems fall, there is a window, a brief moment where new things become possible, where the rules haven't solidified yet, where someone clever and prepared can build something. That is what he was waiting for. Not the collapse, the window after you should be too. The system is dying, but you don't have to die with it. That is the message, not optimism, not pessimism. Machiavelli wrote The Prince in Disgrace. Powerless, exiled, with nothing but time and a sharp mind, and he created something that outlived every empire he analyzed. Because he understood the patterns, he saw through the lies, and he wrote down the truth. No matter how uncomfortable, that is your job now. See clearly, act strategically, build quietly, and when the collapse comes, you won't be surprised. You won't be unprepared. You won't be another casualty. You'll be the one who saw it coming and positioned accordingly. The empire is burning. The smart ones aren't trying to put out the fire. They're already building somewhere else. This is the pre-collapse exit. This is the Machiavellian path. This is how you survive what is coming. Not by fighting it, not by denying it, by understanding it and moving accordingly. The game was always rigged. Machiavelli just showed you the board. What you do with that information is up to you, but choose quickly. The window is closing.